It's crazy, but I flew all the way to Switzerland for lunch in a specific restaurant here, right there. Hi everybody, it's Cash. Welcome back. Thank you very much for joining me. Today I'm gonna tell you why I came to Europe. You know, it had to do with checking off a bucket list item. Well, that bucket list item, which I'll tell you in a second, I'm not going to keep it secret for any longer. The bucket list item was to do with food. Now, in this particular instance, that's a big deal because if you've watched the channel for a while, you know that I have major food allergies, sensitivities to food. There's almost nothing I can eat that doesn't produce a reaction. It's the bane of my life. When I was in Geneva, I stayed in a hotel called the Edelweiss. It was themed. It was a regular building, but themed to look like a Swiss chalet. They even had built a Swiss chalet in the restaurant that you could eat in. They had a gondola out on the sidewalk, just sitting there, that you could have dinner in if you wanted to. But I saw nobody use that at all. This is the tightest lift elevator that I've been in my life. It's like a coffin being hoisted up a shaft. If it actually got stuck halfway up, I would freak out. They've gone throughout the hotel with the entire Swiss village motif. There's no way you can go or no way you can look that they haven't carried that through. All the tables are made of lumber, and the nightstand by the bed is made of lumber, and it's quite a thing. But they've also got hearty, robust breakfasts here, and that's made this really worthwhile, I have to say. I'm climbing this monumental hill looking for somewhere to eat, and you'd think, this being Geneva and all, that there would be restaurants on every corner, and really good ones at that. But I don't think the Swiss can decide what kind of food they like. They're very keen on cheese dishes like fondue and stuff, which I'm not going to touch, and things done in breadcrumbs with oil, which I'm not going to touch, and oysters, which I'm not going to touch. There's a lot of things I can't eat here. And I even worry about their burgers, because even if they're just like straight meat, sometimes the meat is fatty and I have a reaction to that. In the end, I may wind up back at the hotel and having a meal there like I did this morning. I often do that. Look at this is kind of cute. It's all little windy streets and back alleys and little passageways. I always find that the old town in any place is the best location to hang out in any city, because it has the most character. Why architects don't look at the old city and go, that's magical, why don't we make more of that? Instead, they go for cheap and modern and unattractive, or the sort of stuff that you can just easily ignore because it's just a box made of metal and glass. I mean, look at this. This is just an odd pair of doors in the street, and through it there's that building. So fantastic. Thank you for keeping me company while I climbed that hill, by the way. I might not have made it otherwise. Oh, look. A church. There aren't that many in Geneva for some reason. Unlike other cities that have a church on every corner, like Starbucks. But it's closed, I guess, as always. Is it closed? No, it's open, but I don't dare push the door in. Let's feel these walls. Let's feel them together. What happens when I touch these walls? I don't know how old this is, but really, really old. 1,000 years, I bet, at least. Okay, let's just see what the energy is of this. Ooh. It's dripping water. Well, I mean, not really, but in the pictures it is. Energetically... Oh, crying? Maybe? Oh, there's tears pouring from this wall. Yike, I wonder what happened here. The stones are weeping. Whatever this church has been through, which is a lot in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, it was built, I think, in a period of great sadness. That's what it feels like. I wonder if I can go in. I'm going to try to push the door and go in and see what happens. Sometimes I can be disappointed. That there was a priest, I guess, on the inside, and he got out a laptop and a cell phone and started doing business on it. Oh, okay. That's a shame. But anyway, yeah, nice place. But the inside doesn't reflect the outside at all. Ooh, chocolaterie. Chocolaterie, which also serves lasagna. I'm very disappointed, actually, in the quality of the foods in the restaurants. They're not appealing. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm sure they're great if you were to go in, but I look at the menus outside and I never really want anything. In fact, a very good tip is to choose a hotel that has a brilliant breakfast. It serves amazing things in the morning. It's worth the extra money. And then you fill up on that, you gorge like a prize hog, and then you don't have lunch. You save yourself money on lunch and maybe even dinner. You could have a light dinner if you have an over-hearty breakfast. Yeah, we're back here. We just went around in a big circle. If you have an over-hearty, in fact, I'm going back this way, an over-hearty breakfast, you can actually get away with not having lunch and maybe even dinner. So this morning I ate so much food. I was the only person there, so I just ate everything I could. I was doing them a favour. Here, you have all this food, let me help you. But I ate all that. I mean, I had about 7 or 8 courses, and then I haven't eaten anything all day. But I am kind of thinking I want something now, so I'm definitely going to choose a restaurant and take a risk. Le Lacustre. Sort of tempting, but that's another little rule of mine. I never eat in a restaurant where they have a picture of the food outside. I don't know why that works, but it always does. If you've got a restaurant and there's a board outside with photographs of the food on it, don't go in. This is my final resting place. It's very noisy. It's called Arthur's and it's a bar, and they don't start serving food till 7. People don't eat here until after 7 apparently. I have usually finished dinner by 5 and don't eat again because I do intermittent fasting. I don't eat again until like 8 or 9 o'clock the following morning. Clearly that's not a Swiss thing. So now I'm having basically aperitifs and a glass of wine, and that's all I can have. These are like mini croque monsieur on a stick. It's like ham, cheese and toast on a stick. If they can serve this, why can't they serve me a whole one? That's my question. And olives. I hate olives with a passion, so no. The aperitifs are very nice, but it's basically just toast with salmon on it and a glass of wine. And it came to like $38, or that would be like £31 or something, 31 British pounds or 29 British pounds. That's outrageous. For what I had, it was just a slice of bread toasted and split into like I see I'm snorting now. With derision and sliced into 5 pieces and with a little bit of salmon on it. That was it. Oh, that was God. That was a lot of money. But as I say, we're in a very, very rich area. Very beautiful area, but. People can afford that. They won't even think twice about paying $150 for a slice of toast. Oh well, and I'm still hungry. They don't start serving till 7, and I'm not sitting there drumming up a huge bill while I wait for the real food to arrive. So I left. but they were very nice. It's a really nice place, and the food was actually very good for what it was. But God, that's a lot of money. Jeez, still nothing. No wonder these people are thin. They can't find food anywhere. They just must walk around like I do, looking for restaurants. I mean, there are restaurants, but they don't seem very appealing, or the food is on photographs on boards outside, and oh no, this is not my most successful venture, actually. I wish I'd looked it up before I left the hotel, actually. I'm going to end up at the hotel, I know. I am indeed heading back to the hotel now. You know, I know it's supposed to be one of the safest cities in Europe, this Geneva. I mean, it has one sketchy area, I think, where there are hookers and guns and gangs and so on, and drugs. I don't plan to go there. I've struck that off my list, whatever it's called. But even here, where it's relatively, normal and civilized, I don't feel terribly safe at night. I always follow people. I know that could get me arrested, but if there are people walking down the street, I go behind them. No, I mean, not immediately behind, but that would get me arrested. But I walk in the same kind of way as them, at the same speed as them, without alerting them to the fact that I'm there. So that if anything happened and I got attacked, then they'd be there to help me. But that's a crazy theory I've not actually tried out yet. But I always look for people. I don't ever walk down streets on my own. And if I have to, if the worst comes to the worst, then I muscle test it before I go. And I say to my fingers, I am safe. And if I get a no, I just get out of there. I just go the other way. But if I get a yes, I take the risk. But it's my absolute last resort. I will normally walk where people are walking, and because I'm an old man. How many times do I have to tell people that? I'm an old man. I can't be attacked. It's not right. So in the end, my decision was to eat in the hotel. It's a safe bet. The breakfasts are really great, so maybe dinner will be as well. So I show up, and it says on a poster at the door, you'll have a great time, blah blah blah. Come for an evening of authentic Swiss food and yodeling. Well, I would rather die than listen to yodeling while I'm eating. So I went and asked the waiter, what are we going to do about this? Can we avoid the yodeling? He said, it starts at 6:30. I thought, oh, that's fine. I'll eat now. It's 5:30. So I'll eat now. And I'll get out before the yodeling starts. He goes, no, we don't open till 6:30. And the yodeling starts. There's yodeling from the moment the restaurant, I mean, it's Switzerland, so I suppose, but there's yodeling from the moment the restaurant opens to the moment it closes. I asked them if I could avoid the yodeling. And we compromised at this. It's accordion music, but without the yodeling. I think the guy who yodels is here, but is refraining from doing it until I leave. That's what I think is happening. Remember how awful that was. The music, if you can call it the music, was themed as well for the hotel, and luckily it was only for one night. The next morning I set off for my undisclosed location. I was going to catch a train. I bought a 4-day first class Eurail pass, which is a great thing. It allows you to hop on and off trains on specific days. And so I just got one of these passes and I set off for my undisclosed location elsewhere in Switzerland. I did this for a living. For years, 25 years I think, over 25 years. And I'd forgotten how, somebody said, why don't you go back to doing travelogues for a living? It looks like so much fun. Oh yeah. Oh, sure it is. I'd forgotten how much panic goes into it and how much last minute changing around and planning and unpacking and packing and swapping hotels, and it's fun, yeah, at one level when you're younger, But as you get older, it becomes very tiresome. Simply by repetition, you get bored. So no, I don't think I would do that again. But this is fun in a way. It's interesting, and I'm experiencing new things. But I would never do it again as a career. It's way too draining on the nerves. Once I'm on the train, I'm actually going to Montreux, the town of Montreux first, which is at the other end of the lake, Geneva Lake, and then I get another train to my ultimate destination, which is where the bucket list item is going to happen, or one of them. So this is actually very exciting. Once I'm on that train, the connecting train, then I'll be totally happy and rested, and all will be well. I think this is it. I think this is the train. If it isn't, I'm going to Italy. It says, please do not use toilet as waste bin, and then it shows a bottle and a pair of underpants. Who would throw a bottle down the toilet? That's it, I'm on time. My next train leaves from platform 5. Where's platform 5? Where's platform 5? I think that's it over there. Oh my God, that was an emergency. While I was in the toilet on the other train, I thought it was moving, rattling around and so on. I was in the toilet talking about underpants and bottles. The train had stopped and was actually in the station, about to leave. I had to run off the train, and then I got to this one just in time. It's about to leave now. Oh, that was a gross misestimation of resources and time. But it was a very funny toilet sign though, right? Are we going? No. Bing bong, here's the latest. The train has broken down. Due to a technical problem, it cannot go any further. So they're just asking us to wait here, sit it out, and something will happen, but they're not sure what. Everybody else just got off, but we've been told to stay. I don't know what to do. I'm just going to stay and wait. Imagine, in Switzerland, something is broken down. I bet whoever's responsible for this not only loses their job, but gets put in jail for a very short spell because they let the culture down. The shame. Oh, we're moving. I thought if we were left there in the same place for about another 15 minutes, they'd bring free wine or something, or free champagne. But no, they've escaped that, but it's still good. We're on our way. So let me tell you where I am and why I came all this way. I do have a very good reason, but some people will think it's reckless and foolish and silly. I don't care. It's something I wanted to do. What happened was, over the past 18 months or so, I've lost a lot of key people in my life. My father, a couple of college friends who are the same age as me, but they died of cancer in a very, very short while. Plus, there were other people as well who were staples of my life and suddenly died. Plus, my cat died. There was a lot of death happened in a very short time. I called it the season of death. And I realized that they still had dreams unfulfilled. They didn't know they were going to die. It was a matter of like 5 weeks or something and they were gone. And I thought, you know, I have to do whatever I have to do now because I'm next. I mean, hopefully I have many years ahead of me, but I don't know. They didn't know. They didn't know they would be gone and wouldn't see another Christmas. And so I thought to myself, what do I want to do? What is on my bucket list that I thought I had another 20 or 30 years to fulfill? And one of them was to come here. This is Gstaad, Switzerland. People winter in Gstaad. People in the past, like Roger Moore and Princess Grace and people like that, they came to Gstaad for the winter and would live here. They have homes here. Madonna has a home here. Robbie Williams apparently has a home here. George Soros has a home here. Julie Andrews and her late husband Blake Edwards, they lived here. It's just a lot of people, incredibly rich. I mean, every single person I meet could well be worth like $200 million or more. I realised walking around here that I am the shabbiest person in town. I dress like a Czechoslovakian farm labourer compared to all these people. I've really got to do something about that when I get home. But anyway, I'm in Gstaad. And the reason I wanted to come to this specific place was because there is a hotel here. I think it was built like 1905 or something, and it is the Gstaad Palace. It is world famous. Roger Moore actually lived there for a little while, I think, but it's world famous, and I wanted to have lunch there. It's a very humble, very benign kind of dream in a way, but I wanted to do it. Look at these people just walk past in hazmat gear with skis over their shoulders, and they frown on me, thinking, who's that shabby farm labourer walking along the street? But all the private jets coming in, you see all the private jets coming into Gstaad. But I wanted to have lunch here at the Gstaad Palace Hotel, and so back in October I booked myself lunch. I have the reservation for today. I'm going to go back to my hotel. The Gstaad Palace is about $1,600 to $2,000 a night, and I could have done that and seen it as you know, just wasting money because I might die someday. But I thought, no, I'll just have lunch there. That'll be absolutely fine. And so that's what I've done. And today, some people would say, hang on a minute, you went all the way to Switzerland for lunch. I did. And I am not in the least bit ashamed of it. Sometimes you've got to do those things that you've been wanting to do all your life, because either you're going to get old and frail, or, like my friends, you just go. It's your time, and it's over, and you don't get a chance to do all those things. So this is my bucket list item. It's very, very exciting, and I've got high hopes that I will feel thoroughly satisfied after this. Even though I'm more than a little intimidated by this situation, because I don't normally mix with people, so this is a real stretch for me. I've decided that instead of worrying that everybody else around me thinks I'm like a Czechoslovakian labourer, and what am I doing here, and have that kind of imposter thing going on, I think I'm just going to behave as though I am me. I am a visionary empath. You're lucky to have me in your hotel and your restaurant. That's going to be my attitude. I think I can sustain that for about an hour before my confidence crumbles, and that might get me through. Well, that was quite the experience. The food, I had two courses. I had a salad, a sardine salad, which was actually excellent. One of the best salads I've had in a very, very long while, so I approve of that. For the main course, I had some kind of breaded veal. I didn't realise it was going to be like that, because it was Viennese style, apparently. And that means they bread it and fry it, and I don't eat fried food, so that was a bit of a bummer. The other thing was that I was acutely aware of the fact that I wasn't dressed for it. Everybody I saw the men were dressed in jackets for lunch. Who does that? And the women, there is a sort of Gestalt chic, I suppose you'd call it, whereby all the women look alike. They don't intend to, they all think they're individuals, but they kind of look the same. Beige is very popular, and there's a certain kind of hairstyle. They sort of look the same. I mean, obviously they look different because they're different people, but there is a general look which is very much Gestalt chic. Oh, there's a horse and cart coming. But anyway, so where else in the world but here? So, yeah, I mean, I thought it was absolutely amazing. I'm very, very, very glad I did it. It was definitely worth the trip. But I could have had a similar experience, perhaps with even better food, closer to home. I didn't need to come all this way. But the whole thing was 104 francs. And I left a tip as well. 104 francs. So that is, I don't know what that is. It's sort of the same in dollars, I think. And maybe like £80 or whatever, something like that. But I just decided to spend the money no matter what. So, but I mean, I was going to say, so whatever it had come to, I would pay for. But I looked down the menu, and some of the appetizers were $300. Wow, George Soros can eat here, obviously, with another thought, but I would definitely balk at the idea of spending $300 on a single serving of appetizers. But anyway, other than that, it was absolutely excellent. I totally recommend it as a one-off experience, and I probably... I probably wouldn't come again. Certainly, I wouldn't get on a plane and come again. But no, it was good, and I'm glad I did it. And that was one off my bucket list. Yes, check, bing, done.